Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dreamhack Bucharest, and well, we've got ourselves El Clasico on our hands. It's Navi, or the bears, the fuzzy bears,
The remnants of Navi.
the fluffy bears. What's left of Navi since they've disbanded. Havost and Denny have gone full mutiny mode. They've kicked out Kuro, Puppy, and Funnick, and they've brought in some Romanians to join them. For Dreamhack Bucharest, they're facing off against Alliance. Alliance dropped down from the winner's bracket. They could not deal with Cloud9, lost it in the third game, and now they will play the Bears to see who advances back to the grand finals. Will Alliance get a second shot at Cloud9 and Eternal Envy and Company, or will they get eliminated here? Will the road end here? We'll find out now. It's a best of three coming your way. Game one, the draft has just begun, and before we hop into it, Ben, well, who's your money on?
Alliance, I'd say. Fluffy Bears played decently versus Fnatic. I saw a little bit of the game, but still, 3 stand-ins. They did kill Fnatic, though.
Yeah, Fnatic was drafting some unusual stuff, I believe. I didn't get to watch the games.
There's
like a solo mid Ogre Magi in there.
Ogre's legit, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome.
Very legit.
He is.
Not legit enough, apparently, though.
People should play him more. He's cool. He's big and blue. Can't go wrong with that.
There you heard it, folks. Draft's underway. We're going to hop into it now. Game number one, the Bears versus Alliance. Alliance on the Radiant side, the Bears on the Dire, and Naga's out there. Will the Bears take him?
Naga truce.
No, there's no Naga truce with Alliance. Alliance are probably just banking on the Bears not running the Naga, honestly.
10 seconds remaining.
Then he plays it.
Yeah, but it's not like a
5
go-to.
seconds
It is not a
remaining.
go-to for them.
Well, if they ignore it, then I think
Reserve
Alliance would
time.
still be happy to take it. They can go for the Invoker Naga and have just a nice mix of crowd control, late game, mid game punch, and
It can be kind of what they ran game 1 versus Cloud9.
Dazzle's the first choice for the
Dire
Bears.
team pick.
What's going to be the follow-up? They ran some unusual stuff in their first series. We saw the Pudge. Havost is in the drafting chair, and, well, with the 3 stand-ins, they haven't been afraid to mix things up. We saw Pudge. I'm trying to remember what else we saw in those earlier games as well.
Wind Ranger. Carry.
Yes. Carry Windranger as well.
He didn't carry very hard, but it was still an attempt to carry.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the draft's
5
slow and deliberate
seconds
here.
remaining.
But, it's the one thing I will say about having the simultaneous games is I feel slightly less prepared than I would
Reserve
like
time.
since we didn't get to actually see all of the Bears games. But,
Mm-hmm.
well, what can you do? Let's just see what they pick. Dazzle. Dazzle Naga is a pretty common combo. It works well.
Wait, who's your money on for taking down the champion of, bringing home the champion of Bucharest between these 3 teams?
Oh, it's clearly Cloud9. Cloud9 are on another level right now. They also have the benefit of the rest. They get to sit back, watch the teams play. Alliance has to have a really long day today, come back bright and early tomorrow, and they've already beat Alliance. I actually don't know if there's a winner's bracket advantage tomorrow.
If it's only best of 3, I wouldn't expect so.
Alliance's turn
yeah.
to pick.
I don't think there's a winner bracket advantage, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's no fun.
Oh, Bears will go Shadow Demon as well. Huh. Interesting.
It's an alright opener. I think Alliance should probably ban out Priestess, I'd say. Shadow Demon's... He's not the scariest support to deal with. Usually teams don't draft him early unless they have something to pair him with, but a lot of the heroes that he's really good with are
10
still up in the Bull,
seconds remaining.
Centaur, Potom, most notably, and a lot of
5
supports pair
seconds
well with him.
remaining.
Well, and also just heroes like Naga, who you can work pretty well with, as well as
Reserve
Luna.
time.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 main carries that we normally see going with Shadow Demon or Dazzle. What are Alliance going to look to do? They've picked up the Invoker for S4, and last time we actually saw him change things up a bit. Went for the Quas Exhort build. He normally has been going Quas Wex over the past few months, I'd say like 80% of the time at least, but do they go for that again? We also saw Bulldog Prophet. They went aggressive tri-lane with Naga, Keeper of the Light, and Wisp in one of their earlier matches, and it worked out very well. In fact, Wisp is one of those heroes that Alliance has been turning to more and more as of late, but
Alliance's
this time they'll go for the
turn to
Darkseer.
ban.
Then they ban out the Mirana. As you mentioned, great
Dire
partner
team
for the
ban.
Shadow Demon. Still pretty straightforward draft so far, although I'm interested by Alliance favoring the Darkseer a bit today, because to me it seems like the hero is situational around what else you pick. He can be
10
very strong,
seconds
but
remaining.
sometimes he doesn't feel like he's actually doing that much.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
it is not very Alliance-esque, I'd say. But Admiral Bulldog played a decent
Reserve
one.
time.
Maybe they might go for like an early push with Mess, Arcane Boots, and Summons like they did in game number
Yeah.
2.
There's also the Pugna. Yeah, the Pugna that came out for Alliance. They could get a Necrobook up on
Alliance's
Invoker.
turn to ban.
The Wisp will be the ban here, though. And the Fluffy Bears so far not particularly well prepared for a Wisp. They're not very mobile, light on stuns and burst damage, so... Yeah, I think this is a smart ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Still unsure what Havos and company are going to play. So Havos still has been playing carry. Denny has still been playing mid. Come With Me and Zizu have been playing the support, and Arise usually the farmer in like the offensive try if they do that, or just the offlaner. They've done offensive try both games that we saw them
10
though.
seconds remaining.
I believe.
Alliance, you mean?
No, Fluffy Bears.
Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Wind Ranger game, they did... And what was the other draft they ran?
Reserve time.
They did Venge and Visage roaming. I guess that wasn't offensive try lane, but it wasn't a safe lane try.
Yeah. And Alliance has also done an aggressive tri-lane, so both teams have shown a propensity to do it. And coming out of this stage, the Bears will have the pick, but they actually ban out the Naga, something that does go pretty well with Dazzle Shadow Demon if you want to run it. The heal bombs are very strong, but... And also can deal with Darkseer effectively in the laning stage, so... I'm a little surprised they're not going for it themselves. Hey, I mean, maybe it makes for a more interesting draft at this point, but we'll see what they look to do. What's the follow-up going to be? They'll need that Dendi hero for mid. They'll need something for Arise in the off lane. And
10
they will need
seconds
Havos hero.
remaining.
So 3 cores for for the Bears, Navi,
5 seconds
to come off the
remaining.
board soon. The Navi Bears.
Are we gonna see another Pudge?
The
Reserve
Pudge.
time.
I don't know about running Pudge against Darkseer and Invoker. I mean, there's like nowhere to put him in a lane where he's not going to have an awful time. You're not off-laning the Pudge.
It's not terrible versus Invoker. Oh, buddy. Anti-Mage.
All right.
Turn to
Havos,
I
anti-mage.
thought they should have picked Anti-Mage earlier in one of the other games. Anti-Mage, very good versus Darkseer, very good with Shadow Demon, and...
Really
Way to
excited
carry.
for this. I know he's not the most exciting carry to many, but just it's good to see Anti-Mage back in the field of play. And
Big mana voids, man.
yeah, the new 6.81 Mana Void. Have you seen the AoE?
It's pretty large.
Yeah, this is 6.80.
Dire team pick.
50 more radius, but it's 100. Yeah, it's 100 more diameter. It's pretty legit. It gets big. Well, Sand King for Alliance. So going for the big AoE combo. I do like the Sand King paired with the Darkseer, though. We saw Darkseer pick in an earlier game, and he built a fast mech, did his job, but it feels more effective when you have something to really combo with the Vacuum. And setting up for Burrow Strike, very
10
potent.
seconds
They also get an
remaining.
instant stun, something they'll need to deal with the AM, but well, they'll probably need even more
5
lockdown than
seconds
this.
remaining.
Does he need a mana void buff? I don't think so. This spell's
Reserve
already pretty
time.
ridiculous.
I'm cool with it.
I mean, 500 AoE is already
What's
very,
the hero's
very
win rate
large.
in this patch, Brian?
Alliance's turn to pick.
We'll put K-pop Toasts on the case. See if your theory that he's already good enough is
Just 'cause he
correct.
doesn't win that much doesn't mean he's not good enough.
60% win rate.
The
Anti-Mage,
hero's legit, man.
Anti-Mage OP.
He does not need buffs.
But he's picked so rarely because teams only pick him when he's a really strong pick.
I guess so.
There you go.
10 seconds remaining.
Centaur's the choice here for the Bears. So that'll be the hero for Arise in the off lane.
5
Most likely
seconds
just going to go
remaining.
defensive tri-lane here, it looks like. Maybe they do some dual lanes with a Shadow Demon Centaur, Anti-Mage Dazzle, but
Reserve time.
unlikely to go... Well, they also could go aggressive tri-lane, I suppose. AM versus Darkseer, you mentioned, it's actually a good matchup for AM. And they could just leave AM safe lane and bring the other 3 bottom, and then they'll just need their mid for Dendi.
Yeah, AM Darkseer, it's a fairly skill-based matchup. You used to see that matchup a lot back in the day. But I think really good anti-mages will beat really good Darkseers.
Well, the good AM players, they always just go on Darkseer immediately. You trade your HP regen for his, but then he's out of mana. And then he can't do anything at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just pop a healing salve. You're back to full HP, and The Darkseer can maybe ferry himself like a bottle if he's farmed it at that point, but yeah, generally, I know I spoke to Black about this at TI3, and he said it was his favorite matchup as AM. And that's exactly what he would do. Just go on him at level 1, level 2, and burn all his mana, drive him out of the lane. Visage for Alliance, so very heavy damage dealers for these supports in the Sand King and Visage.
It's a lot of deeps.
Yeah.
A lot of magic deeps, though. Not too much physical for anti-mage.
Yeah, they have the familiars,
10
the Forge
seconds
Spirits, the
remaining.
Invoker right click, perhaps. But we're still waiting for a Lotus
5
hero.
seconds remaining.
This draft does seem to lend itself towards, say, a Gyrocopter, like a big AoE
Reserve
carry.
time. 10 seconds remaining.
I wonder what else they would go for this game.
Morphling's
5
decent versus
seconds
anti-mage. They don't have any lockdown for him either, except Centaur, Stomp. They did run it last game, but I don't think it's aggressive enough for their current pick. Sand King and Visit are very aggressive supports, and Morphling's just too passive until like 20-25 minutes.
Dire
Tucks
team
the
pick.
ban. We still need a Dendi hero. What's he going to be taking mid? Pudge, you mentioned. I'm not so sure they'll go for it here.
Pudge would be nice. OD if they want like additional setup and save, but
ODAM is so just greedy late game.
I think they need more control in team fights. Anti-Mage doesn't really provide any. Dazzle and Shadow Demon are like so with it. Centaur is really their big team fighter right now.
10 seconds remaining.
Other mids out there, there's
5
Windranger, which
seconds
Dendi has taken mid. Kunkka Centaur.
Alliance's
That is a
turn to pick.
big old team fight. It's clobbering time.
They can switch up the lanes a lot too. They could actually do like SD Kunkka and Anti-Mage in a different lane, but probably just 3-1-1 with Kunkka in mid. It's not a terribly great matchup against Invoker, but it's good enough. He'll get his farm on.
Yeah, and in the mid game, Kunkka is
10
a fantastic
seconds
hero to have
remaining.
against Darkseer and Sand King. You try and surge, burrow away, he just X-torrents you back
5
in, and
seconds
there's
remaining.
no running from the pirate, that's for sure.
The pirate.
The rum tracks you down from around the corner.
Alliance needs a carry. There's a lot of strength heroes, or there's a lot of melee heroes. 3 melees on Fluffy Bears, 2 strength. It's hard to burst through the ghost ship too, so probably need something that's not terribly
Void. Wow.
squishy.
Well, this is a big old AoE combo. Void does tend to be a bit awkward with multiple melee heroes on your team. Chrono has that propensity to hurt your team as much as it helps them, but you can just Chrono, Epicenter, blink into it, and do some work with that. It gives them some needed lockdown versus the anti-mage as well, so it could work. But it is a melee-heavy draft against Centaur, Kunkka, and anti-mage. More likely to just, well, both teams, I suppose, just really excel at killing off clumped-up enemies. So we'll see who ends up getting the upper hand.
The supports need to make sure not to get caught in Chronosphere, though. They need defensive disrupts during Faces Void's ultimate, and potentially Graves, too. I mean, Kunkka can't get caught either. He can just throw a boat in there and
10
makes
seconds
Loda's life
remaining.
a little bit difficult. They do have the big wombo combo, though, with
5 seconds remaining.
Vacuum, Chrono, Epicenter, and then on top of that, Meteor Blast, potentially.
Yeah, it's a lot of AoE for Alliance. Potentially, a little bit less for Bears, but still substantial. And, well, with that being said, folks, it's time to hop into Game 1. Let's get it on the road. It's the Bears versus Alliance. Best of 3. Winner moves on to play Cloud9 tomorrow in the Grand Finals. That'll be bright and early, Central European summertime. But for now, we introduce the teams. On the Dire side, you've got Navi, Dendi +4. Dendi playing the Kunkka, Havost on the Anti-Mage, Arise standing in as the Centaur Windrunner, Come With Me standing in as the Dazzle, and then Zizo standing in as the Shadow Demon. And on the Radiant side, Z Alliance, EGM on the Sand King, Ake going to be playing the Visage. Is worth noting, EGM has been drafting for them, or at least in the captain seat for this event. And he will get caught here off the bat. Not a good way to start things off. Disrupt into a Stomp. Oh, this time's the Stomp. Won't matter, though. Yeah, easy kill nonetheless with the Torrent. That was just insane damage from the Shadow Wave as well.
A nice smoke from them.
Flurry of pings come out. Ake on the Visage, I think I already mentioned that. Loda playing the Faceless Void. And towards the mid lane, it'll be S4 on the Invoker. This game looks to be Quaswex, judging by the item build, and that will leave Bulldog as the off-lane Darkseer. So, well, you see the power of the Shadow Demon Dazzle. Just massive AoE damage. Is this the burning anti-mage set?
Begins.
Only the headpiece.
Okay.
Nice DD for Havos. Not really sure if they can zone out Darkseer. It's not terribly easy to do so. They have Shadow Demon for Disrupt. I guess they can. Like,
you can
try to
surround him with disruption.
Yeah. It's still just not easy. If they catch him with a Disrupt during a Surge, then he can die. But aside from that, he still should be able to get decent XP. Radiant off lane, pretty OP.
Yeah, Havos hasn't skilled anything just yet, and the one downside to their early movement was he didn't get to the top lane in time to block the wave, so it's very close to Bulldog's tower. But you'll see Havos just every time Bulldog even so much as sniffs a creep will come in and look for the harassment here. Not actually taking quite a bit of damage. The Ion Shell has skilled up Mana Burn early on, but with the lane just pulled so far back from the missed creep block, and now Bulldog able to move his way towards this big camp, it's going to be tough to shut him out of the lane. He should get level 2 quite quickly. In the mid lane, it'll be Kunkka versus Invoker. Does look to be the Quaswex build so far.
I think S4 is much better with the Quaswex than he is on Quas Exort.
He hit almost all of his Sunstrikes.
He hit all of the Sunstrikes, but in teamfight control, he didn't really do that much. He also had a Scythe of Vice that he didn't use very often either. And you'll see the Quas Exort Invoker just do much, much more damage in teamfights.
Cold Snap on the Dendi, trying to mess up his last hitting here. Also driving him back a bit. But Dendi getting so-so CS 3 and 1 very early on. We see Lotus CSing well. The anti-mage doing quite a bit. And in terms of the offlaners, Arise, so far just about dead even with Bulldog.
He's also skilled Hoof Stomp already for that first blood too, so that'll hurt his laning potential a little bit. Aki can't harass him.
Yeah, he'll drop a Grave Chill, throws out a few right clicks. Arise going in for a stomp, and if he wants one, he will find one. But just fakes it out a bit. There's a wraparound from the Sand King. EGM posturing up, not able to get in range, but yeah, looking at the lane so far, it seems like Bulldog will have the slightly better time, and a lot of this just comes back to the superior creep block and the ability to pull this camp and try and mess up the creep equilibrium a bit. Wasn't there for the initial spawn, but it's been there since.
Yeah, Bulldog's in his levels of us just has not been able to harass him. Shell, too strong.
Uh-oh, Arise is coming in. EGM does have a stomp available. It's cooling down, though, and although Arise will be forced back, you see that killing potential. No, it doesn't even have a point in Double Edge yet. The Darkseer may be able to get slightly better levels, but he is the much lower kill potential than the Centaur.
Does the haste? Maybe they can kill Dendi.
In fact, he's going to walk right towards Bulldog. Now gets Cold Snap. Bulldog on the hunt. The Cold Snap will wear off. He's got an X marks the spot available. If he needs to, he can pull Bulldog back in or try and lock him away, but they force out a TP here. Come with me. He'll trot directly back towards top.
Arise.
Caught out bottom lane by a Grave Chill. EGM looking for a Burrow Strike. They try and juke away from the stomp. In comes Loda. He needs one more right click. The kill goes the way of the Visage. So your score now 1-1. And they do kill off the Centaur. I guess, in good news for the Centaur, the lane was pushing anyway, so he's not missing experience off of this. But still a nice kill going the way of Alliance.
Yeah, poor him. He's 0-0. Darkseer doing a little better in terms of CS, only 2-1 on him, but good news is he hasn't died, and he's higher level, but Arise already back in lane, and Aki can't keep up the pressure right now.
Yeah, Havos will go straight into the Ring of Health, so looks to be an early, probably just the early Battle Fury rush. We once in a while see the Vanguard Manta style build, but it's just, it feels like it defeats the point of the AM pick, which is just to split push, constantly apply pressure, and just outfarm your opponents.
Ew, Vanguard, anti-mage. Oh, there goes Bulldog's mana. Bye-bye.
He's close to Soul Rain, though. Almost has the Rain of Regen. He might have to go base once, and then from there he should have it. I think he's actually done really well considering the matchup.
Come with me, securing the DD rune for Dendi. Level 5 on him. How's mid doing? 17-11 on the Invoker, 13-3 on Kunkka. Not terribly bad for Kunkka. That's about what you expect.
Yeah, he can just start trying to harass S4 a bit with these cleaves, push the wave out, and S4 mostly just going to be focused on following up and setting up for Chronospheres in the mid-game. Has the Phase Boots online. Often we'll see the drums next, occasionally just a straight Force Staff out of him, as EGM hides in the trees. Safe place to be for now. But yeah, Bulldog is not having fun here. He needs the Soul Rain up, needs it badly. Almost has the recipe though, so The sad times will come to an end soon.
And we see the Midas on Faceless Void too. So Midas, some people don't like it on Faceless Void. I think it's decent enough. He's gonna be farming enough anyways. He needs damage after though.
Mid lane, out comes the Torrent. There's no boat though. Didn't have quite enough mana for it. That's the one thing about Kunkka that I think is a bit underestimated. Just his burst damage with the upgrade to boat's damage over a few patches ago.
Dude, that
400 AoE damage.
That thing keeps getting buffed.
It's already pretty obscene. And the cooldown. The cooldown's a minute.
And the Brum lasts a lot longer. That spell,
There's a time walk in on the rise bottom lane. Will this force out a TP? Is there a Dazzle ready to go? A little bit slow in the TP reaction. It will come in from the Dazzle eventually, but now he'll just have to back.
And he's missing XP at tower, but I guess it will go to come with me. These supports on side of Fluffy Bears have just been very reactive instead of proactive. I think they could just smoke and kill Invoker at mid. He's not the easiest kill, but
well, you just disrupt. You just X Torrent, disrupt him, and then heal bomb him, and he's pretty much dead.
yeah, if he gets off like a nice tornado, or if they don't have reveal for the Ghost Walk, he can potentially survive. But I view these as like very aggressive support, Shadow Demon and Dazzle, and they're playing very reactively. They can save people, but I think their strength just lies in the disrupt heal combo. It's a solo smoke.
Yeah, especially if you pick both of them up early. I mean, normally that's why you go for the two together. Otherwise, the Dazzle or the Shadow Demon would often be banned. As for farming, pretty close behind his tower mid. Ake's here as well. We'll deploy an Observer Ward. Drops one down on the hill, and they're ready for any sort of dive. Bulldog's chilling mid and bottom lane. Now there's a Chronosphere online. This is where things get a little bit scarier, but mid lane the jump will come. They start this off with a boat, followed up with a Soul Catcher. S4 not able to run away. That's almost all his health. Great Tornado. Will they get a disruption off? Oh, they can't do it. Denny's still chasing though. He waited for the Tornado to pop his haste rune. Still though, not going to commit to this. In fact, he finds Ake in the trees, starts bottling up. He's got only a level 1 Torrent here. Not too much he can accomplish. And in the end, S4 finds the 2-hero Tornado.
Oh, Rise gets cornered out on bottom, but Dendy's there.
Yeah, he's suddenly here. He can connect with the Torrent on Loda. Actually going to hit on 2. His EGM walked right into it. Now, Loda could be toast. He'll get X back. One more right click. Is he going to be able to time walk or backtrack it, rather? Not able to do so. Now they bring down EGM. They're going to find Ake as well. And the Grave here keeps the Centaur in fighting condition. They get 3-0.
I have no idea why Loda went there. Oh, like, Aki was just staring at the Kunkka, just running by with a haste. And then he went, like, right when Denny was about to get to the lane, too. So that was very questionable play from Loda. Maybe he wasn't aware of that rotation from Dendy.
Yeah, it's been a long day, to be fair. I suppose it's been like 10 hours, but that was, he ran, like, right by him here in the trees. So, some sort of miscommunication with the team, at any rate. Costly death for Loda. At least his Midas was still cooling down, so... Not a total end of the world, but you don't want to be giving up deaths like that when the enemy anti-mage is just going to be free farming from here on out. Already has his Claymore, and we'll just be rushing the Battle Fury. No upgraded treads as of yet, no sign he's going for them. And as soon as he has the Battle Fury, his Quelling Blade, the only thing he needs is treads, and then it's just off to the races with the free farm. And Bulldog can't keep him down now. In fact, Bulldog has to be worried about overextending. Can easily give up a kill here to Mono Void.
Anti-Mage not going the 1-1-1 build, going the 2-3-1, so this is a more aggressive build and less farmy.
Come with me, we'll be isolated here. The boat comes out, he can self-grave. Will he bother with the TP? He will. Is there anything to cancel it? Yep, Tornado comes through, and Loda cleans it up. 4 heroes bottom, they get a kill. Well, I guess fortunately for Bears, it is on a support, but do feed a little bit of golden experience the way of Loda.
Centaur's finally level 6 too. Darkseer doing in terms of experience, he just hit level 6, but not being able to put too much pressure on Havos. Havos still by far #1 last hit leader, 64 last hits on him, only 46 on the Faceless Void.
Yeah, your score 4-3, 9 minutes in, and gold experience tipping a tiny bit to Bear's way, but not overwhelmingly so just yet. Denny's rotations have been quite good so far, and a lot of that just goes back to the rune control. The Bears have secured him 2 major runes, and we might see more as this game goes on, but so far it does feel like the Kunkka's rotations have been what have kept the Bears in the game and even pulled them ahead, and we'll see if they can do that even more so now with the Centaur having his ultimate. As you mentioned, Ben, they're going to make a move up the hill. They'll find EGM. Could start this one off with a disruption. He goes into Sandstorm, burrows through the trees, but he didn't get over the other side. Now he's caught out. Loda can chrono, but he's trapped in his own teammate. If they don't kill off Horizon time, this is going to go very poorly. The heal does a lot of damage. EGM will be brought down. Not the best chrono in the end. In fact, on the backside of play, there's also a boat torrent combo. Connects on S4 now. Can they chase him down? X torrent all cooling down. There's only a single stick charge, though. Not enough to get him. But this heal, if you don't catch the dazzle, it's not only about the fact that he can grave a teammate to keep them alive, he can just throw out a heal and take away half your health.
It was almost a nice play from EGM. He did Sandstorm dodge the disrupt, but then he burrow strike like right here, and then he was in a really compromising position, forced Loda's Chronosphere out if he didn't want to give up sinking his life, but he ended up giving up too.
S4 could be in a lick of trouble here. Oh, he's playing with fire. Denny was mid-swing on the killing blow, but nicely done. He will escape in the end still. Just being forced to play very defensively in this matchup. Not really able to apply much pressure. Denny's been the one controlling the game so far, more so than S4.
Yeah, S4's CS is much higher though. Denny's been running around killing peeps.
Yeah, Vosta's closing in on a Battle Fury now. In fact, has the Broadsword, just needs the Void Stone, so we do see the power of the Anti-Mage Darkseer matchup. At first, it's a little difficult laning against Ion Shell, but you get your Ring of Health online. You get some help from the supports, and he's just had a free farm time of it. There's been no pressure in the lane. Bulldog can't actually threaten to kill him.
That's a Battle Fury.
There's your Battle Fury.
11.5 minutes. Pretty good.
Pretty damn good, I gotta say. 84 CS, this is like 7 CS a minute or so from Havost. Against the Darkseer, too. And one of the easier heroes to last hit with Under Tower, but nonetheless, bottom lane, they'll come in now. The X-Torn combo's there. He actually time walks out and will end up escaping. Then gets disrupted while they continue the chase here. The right clicks come in. He chrono starts running around wildly on the come with me, then thinks better of it. Will back off. Loda now in a pickle. Top lane, meanwhile, they found Havost as well, and Havost will go down. Great movement from Alliance, and the Void proving to be the slightly more difficult target to wrangle down. Still, the Battle Fury came out first, but now Loda taking a tower dive to the face. S4's trapped in here with him, but the Monoburn from the EMP will drive them back. So in the end,
that was a really nice time walk from him. He did it like as the X was returning and didn't get pulled back.
Yeah, I didn't realize it worked that way.
It's invulnerable, man. It's awesome.
No, there you go. He makes it out safely, and I think the bigger thing is just the kill on Avos. Sure, he's completed his Battle Fury, but he'd be up to probably his Belt of Giant Strength by now without it, so.
Yeah, this is the downfall of not going the 1-1-1 build. You get caught in one stun, and you probably are going to die.
Bottom lane, the pressure continues. Zizo finds S4. The X-Torrent combo's there, and they just need a little more damage, but these familiars are driving back Zizo. Loda's driving back home with me. He brains down one. He brains down two. They don't even get the damn Invoker in the end. Just didn't have the damage.
Magic Stick OP, saving lives.
And actually, S4, pretty durable. Just with the 3 points in Quas, it's enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, already has his 4 staff completed too. Pretty good farm from him. Then he's been killing people and he hasn't died, but he doesn't have any items.
Yeah, that was also a really bad engage for them, because they went from like a pretty even game to suddenly the game going directly back Alliance's way. Loda was behind the Anti-Mage, and now he's actually on top. And he was behind by a decent amount as well.
Midas kicking in.
Yeah, now the Mask of Death. We saw Burning rushing the Aghanim Scepter into BKB at Starladder, and then I believe he went into Butterfly. Had a casual plate mail as well at one point, but Loda going for the more offensive build this game. Straight into Mask of Death, probably into Mask of Madness as well.
It always depends on the cooldowns of your team too. If you have lower cooldown spells, then it's sometimes better to go Scepter.
Find Havost top lane. He's actually out of mana, but the Centaur comes in, tries to keep him alive. They can't do it. What a nice combination from Alliance. Vacuuming him back in just as he was about to blink out. Couldn't get off the animation. And on the bottom side, Loda finds a kill too. It's a killing spree for Loda. Alliance just fragging all over the place.
Yeah, Havost thinks he's safe, but I still don't. I mean, 2-4-2 is nice and all, but he died once in one stun. Now he's going to keep on dying. He could have, what, 5 levels in stats, which is 200 HP?
Oh, nice play by Dendi. Jukes around the Sand King stun and then comes out swinging with the Kunkka Cleave. Gets the kill there. Still, the bigger kill is that Havost has died twice now since picking up Battle Fury.
And they got his tower.
That was a really good combination, because he was about to blink out, and they vacuumed him mid-blink animation, and that pulls him back into the mana burn, the EMP, and suddenly he's out of mana. Blink is up on a rise, though, and they'll go in on S4 bottom lane. He force-staffs his way out, but right into the Kunkka Cleave, and also right into the boat.
Nice kill.
And Kunkka's trash-talking a bit here. Running his mouth, Dendi is.
They have a lot of observer wards set up in the bottom lane, and Bears wants to take control of this jungle pressure void as much as possible. He's actually just casual morbid massing to a Maelstrom. He's actually really rich.
Yeah, he's way ahead of Havost. Havost is 30 CS up. And he's still behind in farm here. 0-2 to the 3-1-2 of Loda.
And the Midas on top of that. They really need to get this tower. But they got a kill on Evoker, but unable to translate that into anything. Havost just farming away on the top lane. Where's S4 going to go next? Who wants to go bottom? Wants to fight?
You can just see Havost is not feeling safe right now. Normally, Anti-Mage, left unchecked in a free farm lane, will be pushing the lane at least to the tower and then backing off to the woods. But he only pushes it to about here. If you look at his vision right now, he doesn't have a lane ward. He only sees a handful of Alliance heroes moving through the jungle. Now he sees more, and now he can get more aggressive, but he wasn't able to earlier. And the thing with the AM Battle Fury, it's not just about your own farm. It's about pressuring the lanes and forcing them to rotate to defend against you, but he hasn't been able to do that. He's just forced to play scared.
The tower's at such high HP too. Doubt he'll be able to get that anytime soon unless a big engagement breaks out on bottom. Kunkka pops his Invis rune, perhaps looking for someone. Arise has his blink dagger.
Yeah, used it in the last engagement to jump the Invoker, and could use it again to jump in here bottom lane. They'll go directly on Bulldog. He's been force-staffed out immediately by S4. Great reactions. Now Bulldog popping the mech. Then comes the Burrow Strike. They'll isolate Arise in this engagement. They can grave him, though. Look to keep him alive a bit longer. The chase comes in. The Cold Snaps are strong with this one. The back is going to complete the kill. Then Loda comes roaring in with the Chronosphere. Eats a Torrent to the face, but Epicenter is being channeled by EGM, and Alliance are cleaning up again. 3 heroes dead. They're just fighting 4v5. In fact, 4v4. Triple kill for Loda. They're just getting wrecked.
They completely whiffed the wall, and still it doesn't matter. So much follow-up for that Chrono. Nice Epicenter channeled by EGM. Loda made it easy for him, though. Now Loda's getting real big. And
yeah.
Anti-Mage didn't even get the tower on top.
Yeah, S4 TP'd in. He was really low HP, but still had Cold Snap and Tornado ready, and with full mana, Void couldn't kill him. Or Anti-Mage couldn't kill him. They might need to be careful, though, here. As soon as they start seeing heroes rotate in, they'll look to back. Well, Blink Stomp's there. The Double Edge follows up on the Bulldog, but the mech comes through, and Bulldog is surprisingly hard to bring down. Now they'll rotate in additional heroes. Dendi joins the fray, unloads with the X-Torn combo, the boat over the top, gets the kill in EGM. They want more than this, though. They've also rotated in Havost. Navi, the Bears have brought 5. With a Mana Void on Bulldog, I don't think it'll be enough. Familiar Stuns needs to bait these out. They'll do so, but that'll end the push for now.
Still forcing Havost to rotate costs Bears a lot of efficiency. There is a fairly large Ancient stack there.
Yeah, that looks to be a triple stack, so decent amount of creeps. They will take a tier 1 bottom as well, so still some good space here for the Bears, but the main concern is, with a 12-minute Anti-Mage Battle Fury, Havost has managed to accrue treads.
What the heck is Denny doing with his Glove of Haste?
Armlet?
I don't remember last time I seen an Armlet Kunkka. It's alright.
It's very cost-efficient damage, Armlet.
Usually you'll just see Crit or Shadow Blade, though.
I mean, what else would it... Midas? Maelstrom Kunkka? I don't think so. EMP Tornado onto Havost. Finds him. He doesn't have a Magic Stick, and with no ability to regen his mana, he'll just go down. I mean, does he need one at this point? Oh, he does have a Yasha. Okay, he's not as poor as what he looked, but he's still getting... He's 60 CS up and still down 1k gold. That's how hard Loda's been able to just out-contribute him in fights.
Yeah, Loda hasn't even spent all his money, too. He is a rich Void. And he just is able to offer a lot more in team fights.
What is Dendi going for?
I have no idea.
I almost feel like it could be a catch-up Midas, as weird as that sounds, with the amount Havost has been shut down. Maybe they just feel they need a little more late game. But
Yeah.
Kunkka's just one of those heroes where there's you really just want to be taking fight after fight in the mid game, not just AFK farming.
The backup carry. No faith in Havost.
Well, Havost is the captain here, man. He's calling the shots for this one.
Dendy, carry me, please.
Yeah, the shots were called. Uh-oh. Oh no, Havost, not again. We don't want his 4th death of the game to come out here.
Sinking has his blink dagger too, and Bears have no idea that he has it. That's potentially very devastating team fight coming up.
They're in okay position, come with me. Only is a level 2 grave though, so Havost has got to kind of hug this region. Already the Mjolnir. Completed Mjolnir online. This is a big AoE combo. And they're about to jump Havost. Bulldog's in position on the sideline. He's got a 4-staff. They have the blink dagger. But they are a wee bit nervous about an overextension here.
Still potential for a big Mana Void, big Torrent Boat, Tidebringer combo. Can still turn this fight around. Bears have lost almost every team fight. I think the Alliance have had really good counter engages. They just have really nice 4-staffs on Darkseer if he gets blink stomped on, and they're not clumped up for multiple hero stomps.
Well, casual Gloves of Haste for Dendy. Now going into a Shadow Amulet.
That value Gloves of Haste.
Not a very valuable item to pick up on Kunkka. You have that flat cooldown on Tidebringer, and attack speed not going to make that any more useful.
Oh, he is Shadow Blading other people, Shadow Amuleting other people.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that change. Oh, this is kind of cute. Crouching Centaur.
Do it to the whole team.
He's basically a glorified Treant Protector right now without living armor. This could be kind of adorable.
This siege is slow, but it is effective. Tower down to 500 HP. They need to make a move either this wave or next wave. Probably this wave.
And Havost does not have split pushing. Wants to be able to join this fight. The Centaur's in position. Can he find a 2-hero stomp is the question. Blinking in is Havost. Right as the Centaur comes out as well, and now Havost is isolated. They can't get to him with the Grave. Well, he will, for the time being, be disrupted. But now it ends. The Burrow comes through. Still alive. Can he run his way out of here? One more right click would finish him off. Not enough. They're actually forced back, but they have an epicenter to turn this around. 2 heroes dead. The anti-mage out of the fight, and Loda just cleaning up. Gets the triple kill. Anti-mage coming to fights with just a Battle Fury and a Yasha, while you've got a Void joining fights with a Mjolnir. It's just not a fair trade-off.
That was even, like, as good as a fight as Bears is going to get. It was a solo Chronosphere on an anti-mage, immediately disrupt to follow, no epi channel by Sand King, and they still lost the fight. 3-0, almost 4-0.
I mean, their team fight's not even comparable. Alliance are running Sand King and Visage as their supports. These are excellent team fighting supports. Shadow Demon Dazzle are decent. And Anti-Mage compared to a Void, it's not close. It's just not the way their draft's supposed to go. They're supposed to create space with Centaur Kunkka. Anti-Mage split pushes, gets out of control, and it just hasn't happened that way. But this is not the kind of style that this Bears draft is really designed to play.
Yeah, they can still come back. They need to grab the T1. They need to try and do Roshan. They need to get the Anti-Mage stack, though. He needs Manta style really soon.
I think it's a little more than that as well.
They do have a stack for him. That's nice. That should be his Manta.
But, yeah, I mean, it was a 13-minute Battle Fury for Havost, and Alliance have done a nice job of ganking him, but Havost has also played this one quite aggressively, and could have easily completed Manta style way before this. I mean, you have a 13-minute Battle Fury. You should have your Manta by, like, 18, 19 minutes if all goes well.
And skill build.
Yeah, he's still leveling up the Mana Break, not taking any points in stats.
He's not scared.
Well, actually, it looks like he took one.
Value point.
One value stat. But the problem is the HP would have been very helpful earlier. It's less so now when Loda's hitting this hard.
His HP is still pretty terrible. 853 HP. It's not much at all. And it would give him more mana pool, so he doesn't get... so he potentially has enough mana to blink after the EMP. It adds up.
It does just go back to the way the game started. I think those few deaths rattled Havost a bit, because he never really attempted to split push. Even when Alliance was sieging top, he could have been split pushing mid, trying to force a rotation back, and he just kept on trying to fight with his team. And that's just not how the AM's supposed to work in this draft. Not with these items. Maybe if he had this, like, at the 18, 19 minute mark, but not now. Well, they'll try and catch up here, but Alliance are feeling strong, and they'll go into the pit. 16-8 the score, leading by 10k gold, 10k experience, looking for Roshan. With this Aegis, they'll try and take the tier 2 mid, secure full map control, and then probably go for the GG. And there's your Ags. Speaking of the anti-mage not being tanky,
Jeez, he is stacked though. My goodness, voice farm is really taken off.
14k net worth. Ahead of a Battle Fury anti-mage down to 80 CS.
He had that one questionable chrono on bottom when Denny was wrapping around with a haste, but aside from that, Lowe's been playing very well. One man chrono, but it does the job. Starts the fight, allows a lot of setup for EMP and wall and epicenter and whatnot, and their team fight is just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, and with the Ags now, they can just drop a chrono for a solo hero kill. Absolutely no question about that, and everything else will be pretty much ready for round 2. The Void's in the front lines. They'll wrap around with Dendi and Zizo. They have to know the rest of the teams here. They do start with a double-edged stomp combination. Bring the Void down to about half HP, but he'll find the Shadow Demon now. Bulldog blinks in, and, well, that's a dead Shadow Demon. Does drop a Demonic Purge, slows down the inevitable. Avostas rotating towards the fight. Not off split pushing, but he can't fight this yet.
No, he cannot.
I'm really surprised he keeps on trying to come to fight, but now he might have to, with high ground about to be breached. They still have their chrono. They've got the full combo. Well, he might not have a choice now. He's actually rotated bottom, but it's too late, and he knows it. Now he has to come mid.
And they have a Scythe of Eyes on S4.
And Havost might have been spotted by this Observer Ward. Let's see. Yeah, I think they just saw him, like, in this region.
There is a Shadow Blade completed on Kunkka, so maybe they can get some big Tidebringer crits to turn this game around for them.
They'll try for it, Ben. That's for sure. High ground will be attempted here by Alliance now, working on the tier 3 tower. Dendi chilling mid, throws out the casual taunt, goes for the Kunkka cleave, and this will force Alliance back. They don't want to get caught in the combo.
But they wish they had an Urn now. Urn would make their push so much stronger.
Yeah, they do have a mech, but don't really want to blow it for a single hero to heal up, and it is cooling down right now. Oh, chill on the high ground. They'll farm the enemy woods. Havost will find an opening, though, and this is good movement from him. The second that they stop pressuring, goes out bottom lane, is farming the woods for now, but I imagine he's going to threaten this bottom tier 2 soon, and that's a good way to draw Alliance back.
These supports are so poor, though. Dazzle with just Arcane Urn, and Shadow Demon with just Brown Boots, half of an Urn, or just double gauntlets and 1 Sentry Ward. They need 4 staff to try and save Havost, maybe even like a Yules to Yules faces Void since he doesn't have a BKB during his Chronosphere. Maybe a Ghost Scepter so they don't die themselves. They need items, and they're just not getting any sort of farm.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the laning stage, you mentioned they were very reactionary, didn't actually go for many engages. Also, they were just a bit slow. Like, this first TP bottom to try and help Arise was quite late, and maybe a quicker one from Dazzle could have saved him. So, communication, not the best for a team with 3 stand-ins, and they just haven't been able to really put pressure on Alliance, and that's made life hard for these core heroes.
Yeah, I think if they wanted reactionary heroes, something like Abaddon is much better, and if they want to play passively, like even something like a Chen, so they can put pressure on towers early and not have to rely on AM too much in the first 20 minutes of the game. But the way the game shaped up, like Shadow Demon Centaur, how often have we seen the Disrupt, Soulcatcher, Hoofstomp, Devil Edge that would almost instant kill anyone on Alliance? We just haven't seen any of that. We've seen a couple of like Disrupts into Kunkka combos, but overall it's been underwhelming.
Alliance have also been very good at counter-initiating, and whether it's Tornado, Chronosphere, they've been on the ball with those for the most part, and they haven't allowed for the Bears to set up for their combo too easily.
And they've been doing a really good job of staving off the aggression that Bears was putting off in bottom lane and still killing Havost too. It takes a lot of team effort and coordination to be able to achieve those 2 tasks at the exact same time.
Oh, Valat will reconnect to the game. Thanks for pausing for me, he says. Oh, how thoughtful they are. But yeah, well, it's only game 1 of a best of 3, so even if the Bears drop this one, they'll have a chance to bounce back, but their coordination does feel a little underwhelming compared to Alliance's, who some early laney miscues, sure, but their mid game has been one mind basically.
I don't think they should have picked AM so early. AM is pretty good versus Darkseer on paper, but it just made Bears' lanes a little bit too predictable. They know exactly where they're going to go with the anti-mage, and if they're not going to go aggressive, or if they can't go aggressive with the 2 supports, it's going to make their laning phase extremely weak.
Yeah. The AM, they even got first blood as well, and should have been off to the races. They had that good, I think it was the triple kill for Dendi, or he secured 3. Oh no, not like this. Gets Chronon up in the mid lane. There's a nice disruption. Then multiple heroes get vacuumed back right into the Chronosphere. What a performance by Bulldog to set that up. Doesn't actually get too many kills though. Then Havos jumps in. He'll be graved here. Arise won't be so lucky. The first to fall. The bow connects on everybody, but 2 heroes dead. They're completely driven back. Wow. Nice Chrono by Loda catching one, and then just vacuums them all into the Chronosphere. Great follow-up from Bulldog there.
The time of the wombo combos is back.
I miss my wombo combos. 5 blink daggers per team. The 6.48 meta.
Competitive Dota's made a full circle past, what, 8 months? 10 months?
Yeah. That was one of the most interesting things I think Loda mentioned to us when we were hanging out with them at Starladder, was just how Dota is a cyclical game.
It really is.
You know, strat A, counter strat, like you've got your push strats and your gank strats, and over time, the game just goes full circle. What used to be very effective, countered by an old strat and rediscovered, and here we go into the old strat, into the combination gaming. Oh, Loda's just cleaning up. That's a triple kill for the Void. He's not done yet. He bash lords all over Havost's rear end, then surged into the racks. But Arise is looking for this backstab. There's still an Aegis on the freaking guy.
Yeah, he just does too much damage at this point. 4,300 gold. I mean, he could just get Refresher if you want to be clowny. He can go Daedalus, Butterfly, whatever he wants, and he can outcarry Havos very easily at this point in the game.
Even Assault Caress is an option just to clear the racks out quicker, but yeah. Butterfly, probably the more, like, just well-rounded choice, and the other's certainly an option as well.
Yeah, I like AC more with, like, a Daedalus Butterfly build, but with Mjolnir, not so much. He attacks really fast already.
He's been getting some good lightning procs as well this game.
That lightning does insane amounts of damage, though.
Yeah, especially against squishy heroes. 800 health on Shadow Demon, 890 health on Come With Me. Dendi reasonably tanky, but even Havost is only now just clipped 1400. He's forced to go BKB, it looks. And this is not an item you want to go for against the Faceless Void, but it's like a desperation HP item, basically.
And a sheep, too. Like, it's a little unlikely that he's going to be able to pop it at a very opportune time. I guess he can, like, BKB and then blink in, but still, it's just going to be him on his own. They don't have any lockdown provided when he has his BKB up and activated.
And with the mobility of this Darkseer, Blink and Force, and with Loda just being Void, very mobile hero in general, with one of, I guess, the longest range, like, ability Blink in the game. He can just close on you from anywhere. It's tough to stay out. He'll go for a pretty safe item pickup here. Gets the Satanic, now sitting on 16 armor, as well as the Satanic Lifesteal, and he's got the 1 minute cooldown chrono. They'll breach the high ground here. The Mjolnir buff gets deployed and just starts slicing away at the towers. The backstab will come now. Havost does have a completed BKB, so it's one last fight, one last hurrah here for the Bears. Tornado EMP gonna quickly remove all of Havost's mana. He's almost out, then he gets hexed up, and they might just kill him before he even pops this BKB. Havost is going to fall. No buyback available for him on the backside. Epicenter onto Dendi, trying to bring him down as EGM. Dendi will Shadow Blade, retreats his way out of here, but no anti-mage now for a minute. And this can just be the GG push for Alliance.
Yep, Aegis has expired, but don't think it really matters.
Just keeps on slapping away at this tower. The Hammerhead Shark is in the water. I don't think the Bears like its bite. Loda's going to take down the Rex. This will be 2 lanes of Rex. This should be a game 1 for Alliance. They'll try for one last defense with Dendi here, as well as Arise, but there's a blink back. The Burrow Strike only connected on 1. Still decent initiation. Then they hex and Arise right as he blinks in. Even better reply from S4. Looking for a Cold Snap here. They'll find the kill on 1 on the backside, and now looking for more. GG! Well, Na'Vi, the Bears, defeated here in game 1. They'll go to game 2, 1 game away from elimination, and what could be their final match at Dreamhack Bucharest.
Teamfight too strong. I think Void's vulnerability is his early game and getting aggro tried, but if you just trade free farm with him, even with a strong farmer like Anti-Mage, he just lends so much more to team fights. And they really capitalized on the Chronosphere cooldown. They use it so often and just got so many kills with it early that everyone was rendered useless on Dire, even Havost.
They fought around the Chronosphere really well, and they drafted a very synergistic lineup to go with the Chronosphere. So whether it was a vacuum into a Chronosphere, whether it was a Chronosphere into an Epicenter Burrow Stray combination, everything they did was just it centered around that ability, and it worked out beautifully. There were only a handful of miscues as far as that spell goes, and that is a spell that can just flat out lose your team the game if you misuse it.
I don't even think Navi's draft was that bad. Like, I just don't think they played it correctly. Shadow Demon Dazzle, they either should have killed Darkseer or Invoker or pressured bottom, or stack massive amounts for the anti-mage so that he could get his Manta even quicker.
They had one Ancient stack. There was like nothing else.
And that wasn't even the supports, I don't think.
I believe that was the...
it was probably the Dazzle.
Yeah.
But they needed a lot more from the early game. Those are not your stack and farm supports.
And in the end, Alliance take it. It's game 1 of a best of 3, but we'll see if Na'Vi, if the Bears can bounce back, guys. Game 2 is coming up next. This could be their last match. Let's see if they have anything left in the tank. I'm LD. He's Merlini. You're watching Beyond the Summit's presentation of Dreamhack Bucharest. We'll be right back.